Good morning, and welcome back to another scintillating installment of NATEFLIX, Movies on the Radio. I am your host, Nate Hensley, former movie reviewer and columnist for the Gainesville Sun, and now you can find all my movie reviews at GoVideoGainesville.com, and also NATEFLIX and GoVideo on Facebook.
I'm Patrick Daniel, co-owner of the great store GoVideo, located in Gainesville, Florida. I am an aspiring filmmaker, local to Gainesville as well.
I'm Mark Smoke, a Go Video fanboy and movie enthusiast, and you can follow me on Twitter at PinkSocrates.
This week is Thanksgiving, and as is custom every year, this is a huge week for movies. A lot of movies are released into the theaters. A lot of movies are released on DVD. A lot of people have time off from work. This is a great week to watch movies with your family. Now, Go Video is going to have a wide selection of really great new titles that you can watch with your family this week. Probably the biggest among them would be Super 8. Super 8 is an alien action adventure movie with a big heart, produced by Steven Spielberg and directed by J.J. Abrams. So the man behind so many great classic films, Spielberg teaming up with a real up-and-coming blockbuster director, Abrams, whose last movie was the reimagined Star Trek, which was a fantastic movie.
Before that, he did Mission Impossible 3, which did very well. J.J. Abrams is responsible for a lot of popular TV shows, including Fringe and Alias. I would say that Super 8 is definitely going to be one of the best movies of the year. Definitely check this out. It's going to be great to see Spielberg kind of take this in the direction more like E.T. J.J. Abrams was a producer for the film Cloverfield, which was this really big monster movie. I think we're going to get kind of the same sense in Super 8. It's going to be this monster movie that takes over the town, but we see it from a whole new perspective. We see it from the kids' perspective that are in this. So it's going to be a great movie to watch with your family. A good movie for Thanksgiving.
It'll take you back to your childhood. Movies like Goonies and E.T. Abrams is a huge fanboy of Spielberg, and it shows, and it's a fun movie to watch.
Any movie that tries to be like Goonies is okay in my book. Another big family movie that's coming out this week is Spy Kids 4. Maybe a lot of people aren't familiar, haven't seen all the Spy Kids movies. They stay away from them for whatever reason. They think they're too childish. The Spy Kids series is really remarkably good, and it's been overlooked by a lot of people. So it may sound ridiculous coming from a grown man, but Spy Kids 4, I'm kind of excited about it.
I think my favorite thing about the Spy Kids franchise is you have this director, Robert Rodriguez, who's behind a lot of really, really R-rated movies, Desperado, Machete, From Dusk Till Dawn,
Planet Terror.
Yes. So any adults who are really into his adult movies can also sit down and watch his kids movies and really like it, because he's going to bring that same flavor to his kids movies, but you're not going to see all that gore for your family. He was also responsible for Shark Boy and Lava Girl and another popular family movie called Shorts. It's really fun, to see a director that brings in the same, type of cast that he does, with his adult films, and brings it to the kids. So now that you can watch, your favorite things that you like in the movies that you watch when your kids aren't around, you can now bring them in, sit them down with you, and have a good time as a family. And I think Spy Kids is going to be a franchise that continues to grow. They make a few more. Jessica Alba stars in this one, also Joel McHale.
It'll be interesting to see Joel McHale, who's very funny, in the context of a child-friendly action film. Mm-hmm. Now, for after the children go to bed this week, there are a couple of other new releases that may appeal to the parents. Primary among those would be the reimagined Conan the Barbarian. We all remember the amazing original Conan the Barbarian starring Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the 80s. Here's a movie that's trying to bring the blood and swords back to action movies. And I hope it succeeds.
What you want to do is when you get the movie, just put your hands over the title. Don't think about the title. Enjoy the movie for what it is. It's a great barbarian flick. It's nothing like Conan. So just enjoy the movie for what it is, and do not think of it as a remake or anything with Arnold Schwarzenegger, because it's not.
You know, it almost seems like every time someone has a good script or a good idea for a movie, the producers are always trying to figure out a way to make money off of it. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody had a really good script for a good medieval fantasy movie, and the studios were just like, okay, well, we can make more money off this if we just call it Conan the Barbarian. And that's possibly what happened here. If you go into it without seeing the Arnold movie, you're probably better off. You know, if you just go into it thinking this is going to be a fun movie, it's just going to be action. You know, we're going to see a lot of sword play. The main actor who is probably someone you've never heard of. Hopefully, we'll see him in a lot more action movies to come. You can definitely check him out as the Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones, which is a popular HBO TV show. I would expect Conan to actually be pretty good.
And if you want a movie without any CGI special effects, you may be interested in a drama thriller coming out this week called The Devil's Double. Now, I don't know a lot about this movie. I haven't seen it. I am interested in the premise. It's based on the true story of the man who was Saddam Hussein's double. They would send him out places basically to draw assassins out, things like that. It could make for a very interesting dramatic thriller.
I'm really looking forward to this film as well. I think the dramatic element of the situation is just going to be really fun to watch. I mean, imagine that you're somebody who just happens to look a little bit like a horrible dictator's son, and they come to you and you just have a choice. You take on the role of this person who has many enemies who may assassinate you at any point. But on the other hand, you get to live his lavish lifestyle where money is no option. Basically living like a king, but he didn't really have a choice in it. You know, they basically said, we'll kill your entire family if you don't decide to take on this role, but if you do take it on, you get to live like a king's son. So that's going to create a lot of tension. The main actor, Dominic
Purcell.
Dominic Purcell, yeah, he's a good actor. You've seen him as Tony Stark's father, Howard Stark, in the movie Captain America. I think we're going to see him in a lot more stuff, and that should be a pretty exciting movie.
And I can't wait for the real life sequel starring Sean Penn.
All right, so at the theaters this week, for those of you that feel like getting out of the house for a little bit, there's actually a plethora of children's movies coming out for the holidays. The first would be the animated film Arthur Christmas. There is a movie called Hugo, which is a live action film. And it's interesting in that it is the first all-ages appropriate family-style film directed by Martin Scorsese, who is one of the great directors of all time, known for such films as Raging Bull, Taxi Driver, The Departed, Goodfellas. Well, now he's trying his hand at something softer. And it's also his first try at 3D.
I would definitely look forward to this film. Anything that I've seen by Martin Scorsese has been definitely amazing. I'm interested to see how he's going to try his hand at family films. It stars Chloe Grace Moretz, who's a very popular up-and-coming child actor. She played Hit Girl in the hit movie Kick-Ass. She was also the lead in the vampire flick Let the Right One In. We're going to be seeing a lot of her. She shines in basically every role I've ever seen her in. Also, Sacha Baron Cohen, who is known mostly for his role as Borat or Ali G. He's going to play a good part in that. We're going to see Ben Kingsley, who was in Martin Scorsese's Shutter Island. It's a really solid cast. I would expect this one to be one of the best family films of the year.
Another thing I like about this movie is Scorsese's a genre director who pretty much produced and directed the same type of movie. This is his second venture out. He did Shutter Island, which is more of a thriller, psychological movie. I always like when a director comes out of their comfort zone, so that should be nice to see.
Absolutely.
Also, coming out just in time for Thanksgiving is the new version of The Muppets, which, as always, the Muppets always put together an all-star ensemble cast to back them up. The Muppets haven't been on top of the world in quite a while. Now they're owned by Disney. They're going to be getting a major push. There's a lot of nostalgia going on there. We'll see if the Muppets can catch on with the younger generations and not just play to the parents.
I think the big benefit of this movie is that one of the Muppets' biggest fans is funny guy Jason Segel. He's in a lot of the Apatow movies, star of How I Met Your Mother. I think his enthusiasm and his love for the product is going to make for a hipper, funner, new version
The
of
movie
it.
is his baby. He's producing it. He's co-writing it. He's deeply involved. Obviously, this is a huge Muppets fan, and that's a good sign. Now, and there is one major release this week that is not geared specifically for children. It's called Dangerous Method. I'm quite excited about this movie. It's the new movie from director David Cronenberg, whose last two films, A History of Violence and Eastern Promises, were respectively two of the best films of their years. His new movie stars Viggo Mortensen and Michael Fassbender.
Yes, this is going to be a great film, I feel. David Cronenberg's a great director. Eastern Promises was nominated for Best Actor, Viggo Mortensen. Viggo Mortensen was also in History of Violence, like you said. So I feel like this actor, he's always going to be great in any Cronenberg movie, but now we also have Keira Knightley and Michael Fassbender. Michael Fassbender played Magneto in the newest X-Men First Class film. He's another up-and-coming director that had a shining moment in Glorious Bastards by Quentin Tarantino. He's going to bring a whole great element into it. The movie itself is about the life of Sigmund Freud and how he developed that type of psychology. The only thing that I'm not looking forward to about this film is that it's probably not going to have the violence or thriller element as his last two movies, but I really think that this is going to be the type of movie that we can see being nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars this year.
I said the exact same thing when I heard about Black Swan. I was interested in the psychological thriller aspect, but how exciting could it be in the world of ballet? Mm-hmm. How exciting could this movie be set in the world of psychology? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. We'll be right back in just a few seconds to move on to many bigger and better topics. Don't go anywhere.